It's hard to believe, ladies and gentlemen, but as you can see up here, it's been over 1,000 subscribers. That's right. Over 1,000 subscribers I have hit here on the YouTube. Now, you've probably seen the video version already, but now here's the audio version. And just like I said there, I want to thank each and every one of you. Each and every one of you out there that has helped me achieve this goal. Each and every one of you that have subscribed to me. Each and every one of you that has spread the word. Each and every one of you that's followed me on Facebook and Twitter. I want to thank you all for subscribing and spreading the word. I want to thank each and every one of you that when I put the links to my videos on places like on message boards, like the message boards at thatguywiththeglasses.com, on message boards like SaturdayMorningSonic.com, SatAM Sonic, Sonic Stadium, and even the Mobius Forum. I want to thank each and every one of you. I even want to thank those at a forum that I'm no longer part of right now, and that's the Bumble King forums. Because when I posted them sometimes there, I got people watching and talking. I want to thank each and every one of you. You know, to be quite honest with everyone, I never really thought I'd reach 1,000 subscribers. I mean, when I reached 100 subscribers, I was happy. When I reached 500, I was happy. But I never thought I'd reach 1,000. And the reason for that is real simple, folks. You see, every day since I got the BW Roses channel here on YouTube up and going, I've always checked it because I'm always preparing myself for possibly the inevitable. See, this is why I also created BW Roses 98 as a backup channel and the BW Roses Daily Motion channel. Because I'm just preparing, just like each and every one of you that has subscribed to me with your channels. I'm preparing for the inevitable, and the inevitable is possibly having my channel discontinued or suspended. You know, like I said in one of my first videos where I explained what happened, again, repeating myself in some ways, I don't know exactly what happened. I don't know what caused my original channel to go up in smoke. I've heard rumors. I've heard people say it was them. I've heard my nephew take credit for it. I've heard other people out there take credit. I've heard one of the reasons could be hackers. Because I know there's a lot of people out there that have had their accounts hacked into, and they've had to go to YouTube and say, YouTube, our channel is gone. We didn't do nothing wrong. What happened? That, my friend, is one of the possibilities. But despite through all that, I made a comeback, and I want to thank each and every one of you for supporting me. Not just for the past 3 years, not just encouraging me to upload over 2,500 videos, near 2,550 videos now. But I want to thank each and every one of you for subscribing, standing by me. I want to thank each and every one of you for standing up to those that would berate me, disencourage me, would call me a freak, a sick furry, a jerk. Because you all know exactly how I feel, because each and every one of you feel the same way. And it doesn't matter if I'm doing fan vids based on franchises like Sonic the Hedgehog, Rescue Rangers, Tailspin, Scooby-Doo, Heathcliff, Popeye. It doesn't matter if I'm doing commentaries on episodes like Double O Chipmunk from Rescue Rangers, Doomsday Project from Sonic SatAM, Polly Voo from Popeye, and many more. It doesn't matter if I'm doing that or you guys are doing things similar. We always get attacked. It doesn't matter if I'm putting up videos from my church service, from all the sermons and church services that we have in the Creekside Middle School gym, in the park here in town. It doesn't matter. Always getting attacked. And all of you know exactly how I feel because you probably have had the same thing. But you see, ladies and gentlemen, I have my opinions, my reasonings, I have my beliefs as to what's going on. As to why, despite the fact that as hard as they try, they can't get people like me off. They can't get people like you off. Because we haven't done nothing wrong. Yeah, maybe we'll have a strike or so, or a warning. But that's okay. Because with all due respect to YouTube, they're only doing their job. YouTube is only doing their job. And that's what's important. They, along with Google, they, like Dailymotion, they, like Blimp.tv and MetaCafe, they're only doing their job. And yes, even though we may get 1,000 subscribers, even though we may do over 2,500 videos, we still get attacked. And we may not like what they do. But the truth is, folks, it's not their fault. They're only doing their jobs. And you know, maybe those that attack us, maybe it's not due to the fact that they don't like what we stand for or what we're fans of. Maybe they're upset at the YT. Maybe they're upset at it because, like I said, with all due respect to YouTube for the great jobs that they do, trying to improve the site for the community each and every day, each and every month, each and every year. Despite them doing the best that they can, with all due respect, there are those that are angry at them because of certain limitations that are put on this site. And maybe that's why they're angry. But that's just my personal opinion. It's either one, they don't like what people like me are fans of, or two, they're just mad at the people at YouTube for the fact that they can't put what they want. I mean, don't think for 1 second, people, that there are those out there that would love to put girl-on-girl nudity, hardcore action, if you know what I mean, on their channel here on YouTube without any problems. Don't think they don't want that. But they can't do it. And that's what upsets them. But again, with all due respect, and I respect the heck out of the people that work on sites like YouTube, the people that work on the sites of Google and Dailymotion and Blimp.tv and MetaCafe. I respect the heck out of them because they're only doing their jobs. Don't think for 1 second those that work at these companies don't want these sites to be all accessed, uncut, uncensored. Don't think for a second they don't want that, because deep down they do. Because deep down there's a possibility they do, maybe not. But maybe deep down there is a possibility. But despite all that, I, like anybody else that has reached this pinnacle on their channel, have survived. I have survived. I have done everything. Yeah, I check my account. I see that I have 1 strike. But you know what? That was a couple years ago. And I've not struck out since. All I'm saying, folks, is despite everything I've gone through, despite the fact that every day I check my account, it's still there, and I thank each and every one of you for helping me make sure it stays there. Because again, like I said, there's a lot of us out there that get attacked. A lot of us that reach these pinnacles, whether it's videos, whether it's status, whether it's subscriptions, we always have people that are against us and trying to prevent these accomplishments from happening. I know there are those here on YouTube. I know there are those on Dailymotion, MetaCafe, Blimp.tv that have had the have been fingertips away from these accomplishments, and all of a sudden it's taken away from them. But you know, folks, despite that, I've survived. There are people that subscribe to me that have survived, and we're going to continue to survive. You know, people may not agree with some of the things that we make as videos, like fan vids, shoots, discussions, reviews. They may not like them, but you know what? As I said in my video, as I showed in my video, and I'll say it again, as it says on my cup holder, this is my life. Get your own. And it's the same, it can be said for everybody else. This is our lives. Get your own. That's all it's about, folks. That's all it's about. And that's what we got to keep telling people that are against us. This is our life. Get your own. You don't like what you see, don't subscribe to the channel. And that's what people have done for me and each other. They have told people, if you don't like what you see, don't watch it. You don't like the channel, don't visit it. And I thank each and every one of you for that. Now I know a lot of you have questions. Most importantly about my videos at times. A lot of you probably wonder why I put up certain videos. I mean, you have no problems, obviously, with my fan vids, or AMVs as you call them. You have no problems with me standing in front of the camera and talking about things, or doing reviews, or updates. You have no problem when I do commentaries. But some of you do have a problem with certain other videos. Certain other videos like the videos where I have certain characters showing that they're melting into puddles. Like my Minerva melting videos, or Babs Bunny, or Olive Oil from Popeye, or that one with Nebula melting into a puddle, and that's from the woman melts into slime kind of video that I have. Or the water woman video, whatever, mostly water. Or the chicken meltdown. You always ask yourself questions that, or you always, or the WTF video that I did, the WTF, or the woman going and sinking into a bubble bath video that I have, or submerges in bubble bath, whatever you want to call it. Those little clips that I have. You're probably wondering why I put those up. Those are questions everybody's always had. I mean, again, you have no problems with my direct videos that I do like this, audio-wise or on camera, my fan vids, my commentaries, my reviews. You don't have no problems with those. But some of you have been wondering why I put those other videos on that I mentioned. Well, it's real simple. I will give you a quick history lesson as to why, as part of my thank you to each and every one of you for over 1,000 subscribers. I'll give you a little bit of a history lesson. You see, back in the mid-1980s, when I was about 5 to 6 years old, we all remember that TBS, around the 12 o'clock hour, had the Tom and Jerry Funhouse Hour, or whatever it was called. And the Tom and Jerry Funhouse, as they called it, was a compilation of not just Tom and Jerry, but a compilation of Tom and Jerry, Bugs Bunny, Woody Woodpecker, and even Popeye. Well, I remember one day I was watching the Fun Hour, or the Funhouse, on TBS, and they were showing the Popeye cartoon, Parlez-vous, as I think the last cartoon of the day. And it was through this cartoon that I became a fan, if you will, of what I call the melting gag, or the meltdown gag. Because at the end of the episode, or the end of the cartoon, when Popeye kisses Olive Oil on the hand and she turns all red, and then she says that line, all of a sudden she melts into a puddle, and all you see on the puddle as it's running down the floor is her face with a smile in her eyes, and that's it. And that is how I got into the meltdown gag or the melting gag when it comes to cartoons. Because that was the reason. That, my friend, was the reason. And I've been a fan of it ever since. When Tiny Toons came on in the 1990s, I wasn't sure what it was going to be like. But when I saw A Looney Beginning, I kind of had a hint that the gag was there. But when I saw the gag in full effect in Europe in 30 minutes, I knew it was there. When I saw Animaniacs debut, and I saw them using the gag there, for one Minerva Mink, I thought she was the only character. But then I saw Dot do it in Space Probe. And that told me that Warner Brothers knew about this gag, knew people were fans of this gag, and decided to keep it around. And if you don't believe me that there are people that are fans of this gag, you don't believe me, I can help myself and a friend of mine, I created, but with the help of a friend, are continuing to expand on a new Wicca that I created, and you can find the video on it right here on my channel. And if you don't believe me either, go to DemonArt, Inca Bunny, and Furafiniant, and you will see what I'm talking about. There are many fans out there, even Yahoo groups. Even Yahoo at its group section has groups dedicated to this melting gag, especially the female portion of it. But then there are other vids that I did, other clips that I have. Like, say, the woman submerging into a bubble bath. That, my friend, is a clip from the Hogan family. And again, I remember this because, again, just like with Parlez-Vous, I was young. I watched it when it was in syndication, I think in prime time. And that's what got me into being a fan of the bubble baths, if you will, involving women. Then 4 or 5 years later, out comes Pretty Woman in theaters, and one day my family, we were living on Miquelon Avenue around on the border of San Lorenzo and Hayward. And around that time, folks, my family, it was a Saturday morning. My family was watching a movie. Usually I sit there and watch cartoons, but it was the summer, I think, and whatever. And they were watching this movie. They put in this movie they rented this movie and they put it in the VCR. And one of the trailers was for Pretty Woman. And as that trailer came on, I saw part of that trailer, Julia Roberts going under the bubble bath. And then, a few months later, we rented the movie. And just like before, they watched it on Saturday morning because it was the only time I guess they could watch it at that time. And I just stayed in there, watched it for a little bit. Then as soon as the bubble bath scene came and went, I was out of the room. I mean, I was only like 11 years old, and I really wasn't still into that kind of romantic stuff. But looking back on it now, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? It's a good movie. It's a good date movie, and it's just a movie you could enjoy if you want to. But folks, that's how I became a fan of that stuff right there. So there's an explanation as to why I have those vids up there. Those little clips and stuff up there. And then you're probably wondering about the WTF vid. Well, many of you may not know this, but that WTF clip comes from the Donald Duck cartoon short, Duck Pimples. You know, kind of a play on the saying Goose Pimples. Well, I remember when that came out, and again, it goes back to when I was young. And we were living in this apartment on Harder Road in Hayward, California. And I saw this, and this was at a time when you still had to pay for the Disney Channel, because at the time the Disney Channel was still a primary channel, or premium channel as you call it. You still had to pay for it. And I remember this this cartoon came out, and I think it's when they had the half-hour stuff. I think that it was Donald Duck Presents, I think is what it was. And I remember watching it. And I saw and I saw the short. And I watched the whole short, because I was still a kid. I still watched it. And the one scene that got me is when the femme fatale, as I like to call them, while she was looking for her pearls, goes up the detective's back, if you will. I think he was a detective or whatever. The detective's back, if you will, goes under his trench coat, and it just stays there, like. And if you play it in slow motion, which I have, she all you see on the back of him was like two lumps like a camel, and then she just sinks down, and she's like two small lumps, and then all of a sudden she goes flat. It's weird. And what made me a fan of something like that was when she would stick out her hands at first, doing the little magic trick thing with a hat, and then what got me is when she did the same motions, if you will, as the detective with her hands, and the detective didn't say anything. It's like when he's calling that one guy, he has his arms down to his side, but out comes her hand, kind of to enhance his voice. And then when he picks up the card from the guy, or gets the card off the guy's head, if you will, he's reading the card, he's got one hand holding the card, one hand scratching his head, and then the other two hands from the woman, if you will, puts the glasses on his head and scratches his chin, which is weird. But still, it's which was weird, but still it made me a fan of things like that. So let's just put it this way. I'm a fan of unique, interesting concepts and gags and cartoons and stuff. Heck, the whole melting gag made me a fan of The Secret World of Alex Mack. It's true. And my dad told me about that because he knew, in some ways, he knew I was still a fan of that. He knew of that. So, anyway, that's why you see the certain little clips of Minerva melting. That's why you see the clips of Babs Bunny melting, of Dot melting. That's why you see the clips of the woman submerging in the bubble bath. That's why you see the WTF clip from Duck Pimples. It's because I'm a fan of those unique situations and gags. Even the chicken meltdown, which was from Spooner Crooner. That's why that goes to being a fan of the melting gag. I mean, of course, there's another clip in there. It's Rita, mummifying herself. Let's just say I found that funny too, and found that as an interesting gag to be a fan of. Let's just put it that way. But anyway, that is why, along with my on-camera videos, my audio videos, my fan vids, my reviews, and stuff like that, that is why you see those clips and all that. Because I'm a fan of those. And it's because of those clips and everything that and it's because of those things as well that I've had people subscribe to me and spread the word about my channel. And I thank you all again for doing that. I thank each and every one of you for doing that. I know, again, there are people that will attack people like us. I know there will be people that will go against people like us because they don't understand. But I thank each and every one of you once again for standing up for me, for each other, for subscribing to my channel, spreading the word. I thank each and every one of you at Facebook that has befriended me. I thank each and every one of you at Twitter that has followed me. I thank each and every one of you at the Saturday Morning Sonic message board, the Saturday AM Sonic message board, the Sonic Stadium message board, the Mobius forums, the Acorn Cafe message boards, and even the message boards at thatguywiththeglasses.com, and even Bumble King. I thank each and every one of you. Because if it wasn't for your support, I probably wouldn't be doing as many visits I've done, and I probably wouldn't have got the subscriptions that I did. So I thank each and every one of you. And in closing, I promise you this. Like I said in my video version, I'm hoping we could try to reach more than just 1,000. I'm hoping for 2,000 soon. But will that happen? I don't know. I don't know. But I thank each and every one of you for getting me over 1,000 views. And I promise you there will be more to come. More vids, more fan vids, more on-camera vids, more audio vids, more reviews. You name it, they're coming. And I thank each and every one of you for that. And that's all I'm going to say in closing. May God bless each and every one of you. Watch over each and every. May God bless and watch each and every one of you, and watch over each and every one of you and your families. I thank you all for your support. And if anybody, and in closing, if anybody doesn't like what you stand up for, what you're a fan of, tell them what I said. Use the thing on my cup holder. It's "This is my," which goes, once again, "This is my life, get your own." So again, I thank each and every one of you for subscribing for me and spreading the word. And again, may God bless you and your families. May He watch over you and your families and keep you all safe and sound. So until next time, peace out and have a good night.